Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be reacting or rating people's Victory Road teams. So this is a direct follow-up to the video I made a couple weeks back where I showed you guys my picks for my Victory Road team. Obviously that's subject to change as we get more information about the new game closer to the release. If you haven't checked that video out, I've linked it in the top right hand corner, so you can give that a watch and then come back and let me know what you think. So I've garnered a couple of different teams, around 9 or so, from various sources. So I got a couple from the Inazuma 11 Victory Road Discord that I'm in, which I've linked in the description if you do want to join and you can talk to me there. And then I also got a couple from Reddit because I made a post on there asking people to share with me some of their teams. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first we're going to start off with Heaven's Time, a team by Crown Aquazi. So obviously the emblem is Zeus, coach is Sasanami Unmei, and we can see clearly that Crown has a big Greek mythology influence here. And you know what? I'm a big fan. I also am a big Greek mythology stan, big Percy Jackson fan. So yeah, I'm feeling this. Hades, Aphrodite, Perseus, Demeter, Icarus, Artemis. Yep, pretty solid. Hades has one of the best designs in the game, to be honest. I might have to actually slap him on my team. Sean in defense is based. Terry's actually pretty great. Caleb and Heath in midfield. I'm a big fan of that. I also am quite a big fan of Keenan. I quite liked his character in Go Galaxy. So, yeah. Overall, I would say I'd probably rate this like a 7.5. The formation's pretty solid as well. It's, there's nothing bad about this formation. So, yeah, big fan of that. Nice team, Crown. Next, we have Thunder Dragons from Electric 7 Titan. So, let's analyze this. What formation are we running here? We've got a 3-4-3. I mean, that's very solid formation. We got Terry in net, Mark as a substitute goalkeeper, Shinohara, Sean, Patty, defenders. They are all pretty great picks, to be honest. I quite like that. Ogre, I feel very impartial about him. Kisoji, defender, Nathan. That's quite interesting having Nathan as your fullback. I mean, I guess I'll have to play him with Nathan as his fullback and see how effective that is. But midfielders, I'm actually a big fan of Jordan. So having Jordan in midfield is big points in my book. Now, Sonny, I do not see very many people who actually rate Sonny enough to actually put him in their team. So that's quite base, to be honest. You can't go wrong with Hakuryu and Axel up front. Overall, this is just a very solid team. And to be honest, I don't really have too much bad to say about it. It's so solid. I feel like I've got to give this either another 7.5 to an 8. Yeah, solid team, Electric. Alright, so the next one is a team from the Reddit, FG Zines Catenaccio King Z. So this team right here was based on the winners of the Euro 2020 tournament, which was between Italy and England, which makes me quite salty as a English YouTuber, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, so we've got Kageyama as coach, which is always suspect. Hey, what you thinking here, Zines? But, other than that, the defenders are pretty okay. I don't really care for them, but obviously he picked just some solid Italian-themed defenders. In midfield, we've obviously got Fidio, which is an amazing pick, and I think he said that this was based off or meant to resemble Insigne. Then we've also got Fudo, who's his favourite character, and I can't really, knock Fudo. I just think Fudo is a great character. We've got Kido up front, which kind of makes sense. Not up front, but as a central attacking midfielder. With the amount of Shootisatsus that Kido has, that makes total sense. Dimitri up front is a pretty based pick. Obviously, he's just got a great character design, and he said he just liked the look of him, so that makes sense. Now, for the substitutes, I don't really care for any of them, other than Blasi. Blasi's a great pick for a goalkeeper. This is a pretty solid team overall. I really can't knock it too much, and I quite like the theme in general. I quite like the idea of having a a theme team. So I'm going to give this a solid 7.5. Alright, next we have the team by the Game King, who has already been previously mentioned on the channel. Now, this team's just based, right? This team is actually just based. I don't think there's a single character on here that I'm not a fan of. So I'm going to rate this pretty highly simply because I just like the team. Formation is solid. It's basically the same formation I had in my Victory Road team. So we've got Ibuki in net, which is just solid. I don't understand the Nathan as a central defender or fullback, really. Someone's going to have to explain this to me, but having Nathan in defense is reasonable. Bobby and Aka Reese, they are solid defensive picks. Shindo, Ichinose, and Oharu as midfielders are all phenomenal choices. Kruger is solid, but I wouldn't care for Kruger too much. Then we obviously have Haizaki, Hardy, and Clario. Now that's just a pretty solid upfront team. I wouldn't say that they're like the most popular, but they're obviously very solid characters and would kind of pack a punch up front. So I'm a fan of that. I would maybe swap Clario and Hardy if it were me, but hey, that's just my thinking here. Now on the bench you've got Rococo, which is an awesome pick. We got Sol Daystar, Heath Moore, Hakuryu. Just overall, what a team. Like, this is actually like a solid team. For this, just simply for how many characters here I'm a big fan of, I want to rate this somewhere between an 8.5 and a 9. This is just a really good team. Well. The name of this team says it all, really. Team the GOAT. This team is sick. This is actually like a little bit too friggin' OP. J Funds out here with one of the most OP teams I think we'll ever see. So he's just decided, you know what, guys? My team is all attack. He's got 2 defenders, 4 midfielders. We got 4 people up front. This team is going to crush. We have Sol Daystar, amazing pick. Tezcat or Shu, another amazing pick. Axel and Hardy. This is ridiculous. That might be one of the most busted upfront teams I've ever seen. And then you got that backed up by Andoharu, the football monster. Okay, sure. Then we got Shindo, Aryan, and Jude in midfield. That has to be the most ridiculous midfield and up front I might have seen. We've got Mark in net, so that's busted. And clearly at this point, J Funds was thinking, you know what, I kind of need to balance this team out. So let me just put in Goldie and Saw. I mean, like, sure. But then you've also got Nathan and Jack as substitutes to come in. We've got Aiden. We've got Xavier. And then we got Darren LaChance. This is just... I'm sorry, but this is, like, quite possibly the most busted team. No wonder he's called it Team the GOAT. And you got Axel as the coach as well. So, yeah, this team is so busted, I'm going to have to give it, like, a solid 9.5. This is an amazing team. And next we have Johan Liebert's team, Zealous. So we got Haizaki and Zanark, as well as Captain, who I actually think was one of the best designed scout characters, I think from the one of the first 3 games. So that up front is pretty solid. We've got Aphrodite, Olvida, and Yagyu in midfield. It's nice to see a Nagumahara player in these teams. Olvida is actually a underrated character in my opinion, so great midfield there, running a 3-3-4. Hades and Tsunami in defense is just based. It seems like a lot of people really like the Zeus players, which is fair enough because I think a lot of the Zeus characters from Orion and from the original are just really great designs. I'm a big fan of Karia and Rococo as substitutes. Kusaku was a great character, Mixie Max, so I'm a fan of that. Fuma and Temina, I don't really have too much to say. And Sata's a pretty cool looking goalkeeper. So yeah, this is just a pretty solid team. Overall, I'm going to give this a solid 8. And here we have a team from Lightsummer with a very generic name, Lightsvro, or Lights Victory Road of Heroes team. I think you could have spent a bit more time to come up with a better name than that, sir. For that, I'm docking you a point, alright? I kind of have to dock you a point because this team is a little bit too ridiculous. This is a bit busted. We've got Endo as a coach. we've got Rokoko in net. We've got Norika as a substitute goalkeeper, which Norika is actually one of my favorite goalkeepers. I think her design and moves are amazing. Kazamaru is a substitute defender. We've got Aphrodite, Zanark, and Hyzaki as subs. If you guys can't see how busted that is, I don't know what to tell you. And then you think, okay, fair enough. And then we look at his base team. This is ridiculous. We've got Gwenji and Sasuke up front. So we've basically got two Gwenjis up front. We've got Saru as an attacking midfielder. That's going to be ridiculously cancerous to deal with. We've got Kido and Fudo as defensive midfielders. I do actually think that's probably one of the best midfield combos in the entire series. Killer Fields was amazing. You got Faye and Beta, which I know definitely Beta is a very, very popular character. So having those two kind of like midfielders slash wingers is so cool. Then Kinako, Kirino, and Tobitaka is just a very, very solid defense. This team is so, so good. Like, it's just very well balanced. Like, this is a great team. Like, overall, I'd give it a 9, but because of the lack of effort put into that name of your team, you get an 8, but it's really a 9. You know, as I start to do more and more of these teams that I'm looking at, I'm just realizing everyone just picks some of these goated characters that I love. So it's very hard to rate anyone's team particularly low. So let's have a look. We've got Ron 2D's Victory Road of Heroes team called Sakurazaki, which, mate, I don't blame you. Sakurazaki is an awesome name, so I feel that. We've got Hakuryu up front, which is a top tier forward pick. We've got Fubuki Atsuya, Amamiya Tayo, and Nasaka just following slightly behind, which I think is just a phenomenal attacking portion of the team, balanced out by Ichinose and Hikaru. I'm a big fan of Hikaru, so you know, Blue Stardust was an amazing move, so that's nice to see. And then Tuko as a defensive midfielder is actually quite an underrated but solid pick, so I quite like that. We've seen Kirino a few times, you can't go wrong there. Having Fubuki on the same team as his brother Atsuya is so wholesome, so big fan of that. And I know a lot of people are quite a big fan of Mizu Kamiya as well, so it's good to have him in defense. And this is rounded up by Ibuki. This is just, overall, I really can't rate this team badly at all. I'm looking at it and I feel like this is an 8.5. It's really solid. It's just really good. So here we have Team Watchon from Watchon. Coach being Samford. That emblem's pretty cool. I should actually find out who that belongs to. We've got Adriano in the top left with Fire Lemonade, which is a great choice. Shadow up front is based. Noir is a pretty cool pick. Kia, Psita, and Eagle. Hephaestus, Jody, Styx, and Daltrey, and Romeo in net. Now, I'm noticing a kind of trend here. A lot of these characters are quite like edgy or uniquely designed, and I'm really I'm quite liking it. Like, Romeo is cool. I don't really remember that character as much. Psita has an awesome design. Noir is very edgy. Arceus is cool. Wolfie, Chameleon, and Rim, those are really like unique characters. So, you know, I quite like this team. It's not bad at all. I'm gonna give this a 7.5. Well, guys, that about wraps up my ratings of the teams that I got sent in. I think a lot of these teams are really unique and based, and you know, I think that's one of the great things about Victory Road that we're all really going to enjoy, is just the ability to create teams that we want and we love, with characters from, well, you know, spanning the entire series. So, you know, please don't take my thoughts and my ratings personally, because you have your own reasons for why you like that team so much, and don't let, you know, somebody else's opinions like change that. I do think that overall, all the teams I saw were really solid and really good. I was just going off what my own opinion was. But yeah, I thank you guys so much for interacting and sharing with me. You know, I'm really enjoying the kind of Inazuma 11 community we're creating here on the channel. So you guys feel free to comment below, out of all of these 9 teams that we have here, which one you preferred and why. And yeah, feel free to check out some of the other videos that I have made with regards to Inazuma 11. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci.